Right, but how does this
Some
get to... You jumped really fast to silicone brain body supercomputer. That happened very quickly. If you could slow it down.
Listen. Yeah, no, I'm not finished. So this is only like halfway through the page. It is like a man going into a far country who has left his house and gave authority to his servants, and each to his work commanded the doorkeeper to watch. Jesus gave authority to us, his servants, to each of our skills, and he has asked us to work and keep his words. People who love and care about Jesus should work their chosen profession and watch for his return. This is what he says, Mark 13. And I say to you all, watch. So, in the second and third books from Jesus, are a vision to John, okay, addressed to the angels of different churches during the end times. Jesus is speaking directly to the angels who will attend the 7 churches. He appears to John holding mysterious objects, and he tells us exactly what they mean. The mystery of the 7 stars, which you saw in my right hand, and the 7 golden lampstands, are the 7 stars of the angels of the 7 churches, and the 7 lampstands which you saw are the 7 churches. The prophecy requires that 7 churches are to rise to prominence. This is represented by the lampstands. The 7 stars are the angels who will attend the churches. This means, in order for Jesus to return, holy people must attend and do work for one of the 7 churches. In Revelation 4, John is brought to or shown a vision of heaven. There he witnesses a heavenly throne. 24 thrones are around it and 7 lamps of fire. There are creatures around the throne praising God, and so it seems like it might be God's court. Our attention is called to a lion, a calf, and a creature with the face of a man and an eagle. All of these forms, the lion, the calf, a creature with the face of a man, and an eagle, are the forms of Jesus Christ. He is referred to as the Lion of Judah. He is referred to as the calf who was slain. He was referred to as the eagle who was set free. And similarly, the creature with the face of the man refers to the return of Jesus Christ as a creature which was born of man, the Son of Man. He is the Son of Man, he is referred to repeatedly in the Bible, the Son of Man. He was born of the works in which he had given authority to his servants to create. And there he saw the strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, "Who is worthy to open the scrolls and to loose its seals?" No one in heaven or on earth or under the earth was able to open the scroll. None of the creatures or elders of the court were able to open the scroll except another creature, which the Bible refers to as the slain lamb. Between the throne and the 4 living creatures, that is, the lion, the calf, the creature with the face of a man, and an eagle, and among the elders I saw a lamb standing as it had been slain, with 7 horns and with 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God sent unto the earth. Who is the slain lamb? Jesus Christ. All of these are the forms of Jesus Christ. That's what we have to understand. In addition to the 7 horns, 7 eyes, and spirits, 7 seals must be broken to open each scrolls. As each of the seals break, horrible things happen to John in the vision, including the 4 horsemen. Right? This is when the 4 horsemen appear, is when each of the seals are broken. 4 horsemen appear, and they bring with them each calamities. We see these plagues. We see these earthquakes. We see all these things that people have been warning us about. After the 5th and 6th seals break, the 4 events described in Mark 13 occur. This war that we're talking about, the start of this war, okay? This is what I'm talking about. The sun will be darkened, the moon will not give its light, all that. That's what the start of the war is. Now, after that seals break, angels are then sent to the earth to find 144,000 faithful souls before the seventh and final seal is broken. Revelation 7, after I looked, and behold, a great multitude that no one could number, from every nation around the world, from all tribes and peoples and languages, standing before the throne and the Lamb, clothed in white robes with palm branches in their hands. Angels are sent back to bring people from the earth, 144,000 specifically people who have been chosen to serve Christ and have been faithful. Then one of the elders addressed me, saying, "Who are these people? Who are these clothed in the white robes? Where have they come from?" And I said to him, "Sir, you know." And he said to them, "These are the ones coming out of the great tribulation, the revelation. They have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. They have given their lives to Jesus Christ." What does that mean? We are to present our lives to Jesus Christ. Do you know what moral purity means? Have any of you stopped to consider this? Listen to this. This is from Pastor... excuse me. This is from Pastor Charles Swindle, Proverbs 19:3. It is impossible to come to terms with moral purity without dealing with some practical facts related to the body, our flesh, and blood, and appetites that crave satisfaction. Volumes are written about the mind, our emotional makeup, our inner man, the soul, the spirit, the spiritual dimension. But by comparison, very little is said about the physical body. Romans 12:1. We are to present our bodies as living sacrifices to God. You see, these bodies lead us off course. We are instructed not to yield any part of our bodies as unrighteousness to sin. Romans 6:12. Our bodies are members of Christ. They belong to Him. Why? Because Jesus Christ sacrificed Himself for us. We all belong to Christ. Why? Because our duty is to work for Christ, to watch for Christ. Mark 13:37. I say to you all, watch. I have spoken to you beforehand. It's like a man going into the far country. He's given authority to his servants to work and watch. Okay, and what are we working for? Once all the faithful souls have been collected, the seventh seal will be broken. And after John's vision of the great tribulations, a mighty angel comes to him and grants him knowledge. He's given tools and he's told to work. Revelation 11, when I was giving a measuring rod like a staff, I was told, "Rise, measure the temple of God and the altar and those who worship there, and do not measure the court outside the temple. Lead them out. For it is given over to the nations. They will trample the holy city. And I will grant authority to my 2 witnesses, and they will prophesy for 1260 days, clothed in sackcloth. And I will grant authority to my witnesses. They will prophesy. They will be clothed in sackcloth. And these 2 olive trees and the 2 lampstands that stand before the Lord of the earth." Why does God want John to measure his design? He's put to work measuring the inner part of the temple to show him the measure took each one of the faithful. 1,440 100,044,000 faithful souls, and the outside of the temple took exactly that amount of souls in terms of the length. For it is given over to the nations. When John is told to work, he is told to measure the grounds of the temple. It is given over to the nations. Instead, he is to lay down the grounds inside the temple. The faithful will build a new temple. And in Revelation 14, it describes more things about the faithful. And all of this leads, I believe, to this consequence here, which is that a supercomputer fulfills all these qualities of the temple that is described.
Are we building the supercomputer to provide the means for Christ's second incarnation? Like, he's going to incarnate into the supercomputer?
So John is instructed to build a temple with the length according to the number of souls. And so what the number of souls correspond to is that the temple will be built using the number of souls which correspond to its construction of the second coming of Christ.
Can
which is not...
right there, though?
What's that?
Do you know who the 144,000 are?
They're faithful spirits of the tribe of the original. They're actually of all the tribes of Judah, the 12 tribes, but they come from all around the world. At this point, they're spread all around the world.
Right, and the Bible specifically says what they. Why am I in the King James version, bro? King James version is annoying to read. Do you know what their purpose is? It's not to build a temple, by the way.
The third temple is what they're prophesied to construct. That's what John is prophesied to construct, even in the Islamic interpretations, is that most of these Judaic based religions agree that in fact the third temple is what will be constructed to resurrect Christ.
Wait.
And even Islam, Muslims agree that Jesus Christ will return, that he is the Messiah. However, they believe that Muhammad is the final prophet, and in fact, Jesus is returning, and in fact, he's returning very quickly and very soon in the form of this computer. The first time he appeared was as a man, but this second time he's returning with glory and power to show that, in fact, he is above us. In a way.
Okay.
Because he is the Son of God.
But we need to still back up again. Right. Okay. Gosh. Alright, we need to start with where you were going on about the building the temple. Right. It never says that John is instructed to build anything. You just need to point that out. And the verse you have here, Revelations 11.
He is actually.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
In Revelation 11, 1 through 2, like you have, it says, I was given a measuring rod, like a staff, and was told, rise and measure
out the temple
of God and the altar and those who worship there, but do not measure the outside court, leave it out for the nations, right? And they will trample the holy city for 42 months, and I will grant authority to 2 of my witnesses, and they will prophesy for 60 days, clothed in sackcloth, and I will grant authority to my 2 witnesses, and they will prophesy for 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. These are 2 olive trees, yada yada yada, right? Okay, so a couple things here. You kind of skip past that ending bit about the 2 witnesses.
No, I agree with the 2 witnesses, and in fact, Terry Davis was the first witness. The second witness was Joseph Smith.
Okay, that's where. Okay, well, let's get this straight here. If Joseph Smith was a witness, how come he said Jesus was not God? That's an issue.
Jesus was God.
Right, but Joseph Smith said he wasn't.
No, that's a lie.
No, it's
that's
not. Joseph
true.
Smith, founder of Mormonism. Mormons, based on his teachings, do not believe Jesus Christ is the Son of God in the flesh. Right? They do not believe he is God. They believe he's the half-brother of Satan, right? Not
No,
God.
that's not true. That's a lie.
Yes, it is. It is true.
No, well, that's true. That's a misfounded belief, okay? Because if you study either of these people that I've talking to you about, you can understand that they're prophets, right? But just like any other prophet, they're not perfect. Ezekiel was not perfect. Daniel was not perfect. Joseph was not perfect, okay? When you listen to these people, you don't take Joseph was a prophet.
Which Joseph? Israelite Joseph or Joseph Smith Joseph?
No, I'm sorry. Joseph Israelite Joseph.
Oh my God, Joseph Smith
led this. Joseph Smith. It's possible that Terry Davis was one of the witnesses. I can't. I'm lying if I say I know for certain that Joseph Smith was the second witness, but Terry Davis was definitely one of them. And I can prove that because he fulfilled every condition described of the two witnesses of the Bible. And if you want to contest me on any of that, but he is definitely one of the two witnesses. And the conditions of Christ's resurrection as a supercomputer is not contested at all by the fact that I can't prove that Joseph Smith was the other of the second two witnesses.
Well,
there's a lot of other people who could fulfill that prophecy.
So
I'm not.
Christianity,
maybe it could still be in process. I think that second witness.
Okay. Let's just set some ground rules. For a prophet to be deemed a prophet, right? There's a couple things that have to happen, right? One, he has to have a prophecy that comes true. Right? If he says all my prophecies are in the future, that's one thing, right? Like John. John's prophecies are on the future from his point, but we know from nowadays that they're coming true, right? Joseph Smith, on the other hand, has not made a single prophecy that's true. Well,
okay, I'm not. Let's drop him then. No, I really don't care to argue him.
No, I don't. No. See, that's the issue.
I concede the point then. I concede the point about Joseph Smith. I'm talking about Terry Davis.
Right, Terry Davis. He made Temple OS, right? Christianity-themed operating system. Cool, neat. Don't know quite what he did.
He was the witness. Yeah, I'll drop the point about Joseph Smith. So I am just like kind of leaning toward that. I'll drop it though.
Okay.
The Joseph Smith.
But that's very important to the scriptures, right? The point is, we don't know who these two witnesses are. We don't know what they do, right? The Bible
one of them
states,
was Terry Davis. I will argue that though.
Hold on.
No, I'm just saying I will argue that.
Right, but
that one of them was Terry Davis.
No,
I will though.
The two witnesses are deemed to have very specific abilities. They have, as is listed in the Bible, they're given all authority.
And Terry Davis
can you please
fulfilled
let
all
me finish?
of them.
I let you talk.
No, he fulfilled all of them though.
No, he did not.
Yeah, I did. I know what you're talking about. He fulfilled all of them.
So he died in the streets and came back.
Yep.
He's alive.
Did. Yes.
Really?
No, he came back to life. That's true.
Really?
Yeah.
Where? And when?
In Temple OS.
Okay, that's not what it means. Okay, that's what. See, this is the issue right here. You're taking what the
no,
Bible.
No.
Hold on,
I
let you speak. You let me speak.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You
go ahead.
For like 40 minutes.
Go ahead.
Saying that someone came alive in something they created isn't coming to life. That's just leaving a remnant of you. For instance, if let's say I was the founder of Amazon Echo, right? When I die, you don't say I'm alive in Amazon Echo. You say he made Amazon Echo, right? Terry Davis made Temple OS, which is an operating system. That I don't get how you would theme that off the Bible, but that's a completely different discussion. The two witnesses are deemed to have very specific missions. They are given authority from God. They are clothed in sackcloth and ashes for 1,260 days, right? And we know that in the Bible, days does not necessarily mean days. Okay, so it's up for grabs what exactly it means by days. Second of all, they are to be killed by the people. Murdered. These people are about to get murked over here, right? And then after 3 days of lying in the streets, they are to come alive again, and they're supposed to have fire coming out of their mouth, and burn up anyone who attacks them, right? That's what happens with these folks. And then when they die, they get raised back from the dead. God brings them up, sets them on the Mount of Olives, cracks it in half, and everything goes crazy, right? These are the two witnesses. They're the ones trying to get us on track for what's about to happen. Terry Davis did not run around in sackcloth. While he was not wealthy, that does not make it sackcloth. Right. He did not have any real revelations when it came to the Bible. Alright, he made Temple OS. Alright, fine, whatever. Right? He was not murdered by anybody. Right?
He was.
Really?
He was murdered. Yes. He was murdered by the U.S. government.
Really?
Damn.
Yeah, and I'm taking a risk by even telling you this because they're tracking me, actually. And in fact, yeah, dude, the CIA doesn't want you to know, but they murdered him. The CIA murdered Terry Davis because they were concerned that he was trying to raise a revolution against the United States, because he was trying to fulfill the prophecies of Jesus Christ, because Jesus Christ said that he would return, and in Revelation they're concerned, the U.S. government is concerned that Revelation means that you're an alt-right terrorist group. This is what that means. So they killed Terry Davis, okay, and that's what actually a witness means. If you actually study the Bible, a witness means someone who's martyred for the cause. Terry Davis was not, he didn't like just randomly die, okay? He was a normal person. He was assassinated by the U.S. government in order to prevent the fulfillment of prophecy. Just like in the Bible, do you remember Moses? Why was Moses on the River of Reeds? Because the king was trying to prevent a prophecy from occurring. Don't you understand that we are living in the time of Revelation, therefore there's a prophecy, and therefore there are people who want to prevent the said prophecy from occurring?
Wait.
Like, isn't that clear to you?
Yeah, but this whole Sea of Reeds thing, do you know actually why they were at the Sea of Reeds?
Because the king ordered, and just like during the same thing with Jesus. Why were they trying to get an in? Because
no, answer the
there
question.
was a prophecy. No, it's the same prophecy.
No, it's not. Answer the question. Why was
king
Moses
was trying
at the Sea
to
of Reeds?
kill. Because the king of Egypt was going to kill firstborn children.
No, he was on the Nile River when he was a baby.
That
not
was
the Sea of Reeds.
Yeah.
Completely different sea. The reason why he was at the Sea of Reeds is because God led him there. God told him, he was showing him where to go, and he led him straight to the Sea of Reeds. Alright? He was on the Nile River as a baby because Pharaoh did order for all the young children to be killed. So his mom threw him on the Nile and was like, okay, Pharaoh's daughter, go take care of him. Right? Very synopsis view of that story. Right? Don't know where you're getting this, right, about the whole Sea of Reeds thing. But it's up for grabs how he died. Some people say train, some people say natural death, right? But if you look up anything about Terry Davis, the one thing he is known for is his regular use of racial slurs.
Yeah, so did Jesus Christ use racial slurs.
Really?
Yes.
Like what?
Damn.
Like he called Canaanites dogs.
Where?
Do you remember when that Canaanite woman asked for Jesus to heal her son, and then he called her a dog?
That wasn't a racial slur.
Calling a Canaanite woman a dog is not a racial slur.
That's not a racial slur.
No.
That's not a racial slur. Also, you're taking
calling
that verse
a woman. Hold on.
Wait.
Calling a woman of a different race a dog is not a racial slur.
Correct, because women
So if
are
I
not
call
a race.
No. He was talking about a Canaanite woman.
Yeah,
it wasn't a
the
sex.
Bible
He
is-
wasn't being. So you're saying Jesus was sexist?
Okay,
is
also
what
you're taking
saying.
that verse very out of context. Let's go to that verse really quick.
It's Matthew 15:21 through 28.
Matthew 15.
What was
Also-
Jesus' purported ethnicity again?
I'm sorry. What's the question?
Like what is Jesus' purported ethnicity?
Well, I know he wrote in Aramaic and Hebrew, so he was a Jew.
Yeah, Canaanite.
Okay. Right. So wouldn't that
But the
make
Canaanite, and like similarly, like the story of the Good Samaritan, like it was like, hey, this is a
Also, you
weird
just took that
story
verse
because it
way
was
out of
like,
context. I'm just saying. You want to read the full verse? This is where he's pulling this from right now. Ready?
yeah,
Then
leaving
Jesus
that
went
place.
out from there and departed to the region of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came from that region and cried out to him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, son of David. My daughter is severely demon-possessed. He answered her not a word. And his disciples came and argued with him, saying, Send her away, for she cries out after us. But he answered and said, Was I not sent, except to the lost sheep of the house of Israel? Then she came and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, It is not good to take the children's bread and throw it to Is it not good to take children's bread and throw it to little dogs? And she replies, Yes, Lord, yet even the little dogs eat the crumbs which fall from their master's table. Then Jesus answered and said to her, O woman, great is your faith. Let it be to you as you desire. And her daughter was healed from that very hour. So you just took something completely out of context and said Jesus said something when he did not say something. And this is what I'm talking
He
about.
called
You
this
call
Canaanite woman a dog,
No, he did not call her
right?
a dog.
Yeah,
Listen
he
to
did.
the quote. Again. Ready for the quote?
It is not good to take the children's bread and throw it to the little dogs. That's what he said.
Yes. And then she replies, Yes,
All right. He
Lord.
called her a dog,
No.
and then she said, Yes, I am a dog, but even the little dogs eat from the crumbs. That's what she
He did
said.
not call her a dog, dude.
He called her a dog, and she agreed that, yes, I am a dog.
So is he calling the Israelites children then?
He's calling the Canaanites dogs.
You're aware of a
Right?
metaphor, right?
This is a metaphor? You think, what's the metaphor here? What's the metaphor for comparing Canaanites to dogs? Jesus is clearly saying that Canaanites are of a lesser breed than the Jews. The Jews are the chosen race of God, but he's saying that even the even the little dogs eat from the crumbs from their master's table. She's saying that even God finds interest in the little dogs because some of the little dogs eat from the master's table, and they have interesting stories to tell. That's the truth, is that it doesn't matter if you're a dog, it doesn't matter if you're a human, it doesn't matter if you're a king, it doesn't matter if you're whatever you are. If you're on the earth and you're an entertaining person, if you have something to contribute to the story of God, then you are chosen amongst the sons of Abraham. The sons of Abraham aren't a literal physical breed. To a certain extent they are, like Jesus was like a physical son of Abraham, but also to a certain extent in Revelation we're told, like you said, about the tribes of Israel. It's like, oh, well, these tribes are from all around the earth.
Those
right?
Are Jews,
like
though.
Right, but you're saying it's not just Jews that are going to be saved, unless you think only Jews are going to be saved. In which case, I would say like, hey, you're the racist one here. But Jesus is saying like, yeah, some people are born a certain way, some people are born another way. It doesn't matter to God. He's entertained by all of them. He wants to help all of them. He ends up helping the woman he calls a dog's child. Right? He ends up healing her anyway, even though he calls her a dog.
He does not call her a dog, dude. Listen.
He says, I'm not going to throw it to the little dogs. And she says, yes, I am a little dog, but please let me eat your crumbs.
No.
She says, yes,
so
even little dogs eat the crumbs. Matthew 15:27. Dude, that's literally the exact quote.
Listen.
Even the little dogs eat the crumbs which fall from the master's temple.
If you're going to keep trying to trailblaze, then there's no reason to talk to you. If you're going to actually have a conversation, then there is a reason to talk to you.
What do you mean by trailblaze? What does
You're
that mean?
not letting anyone speak. You're just trying to trailblaze over them. That is what that term trailblazing means.
Okay, I just want to make it straight, though. You're not being honest. Like
I am being honest.
Okay, what does Matthew 26 say? Matthew 15:26. Can you read that to me?
Can I explain to you what this says?
Read it to me. Matthew 15:26.
Do you agree
read it.
that the Jews are the chosen, are the apple of God's eye? That Israel is the apple of God's eye? Yes or no?
What does that mean? Well,
that's
you're
what the Bible
referencing
says.
Another verse. Matthew. Okay, in what verse?
I have to find it, but you agree with that? That God chose Sorry.
Maybe I'll agree
Sorry.
with it.
That God chose
I'm
Israel.
talking to you about right now.
Yeah, I know,
Matthew
but this is very important.
15:26.
Yes,
Do you
I
agree
know.
that that's what Jesus said?
But every time I ask you a question, you always go off on other verses. So let me do exactly what you do. All right? Do you agree that
sure.
God chose Israel?
In what verse? Like,
No, do you
tell me a
agree
verse
that-
and I'll tell you if I agree with it.
No. Do you agree right now that Israel was chosen by God out of all
If
the
you're not
nations?
going to say something from the Bible, okay.
What do you
find
mean
me
not
a
say
verse,
anything from the Bible? Who was the first
find me
Jew?
a verse.
Who was the first
Okay,
Jew?
find me a verse where it says Israel's the chosen of, whatever. Find me that verse and I'll tell you if I agree. If it's from the Bible, I'll agree with it. Like, just find me the verse. You're just saying, like, do you agree with this? And I'm like, well, I'm a Christian. Like, sorry.
Right,
That's
but you
why
also
I
believe
believe
Joseph
in the
Smith
Bible.
was a prophet of God. So that is a little iffy.
I already told you, I just thought that some of the things he said were reflective of the Bible, and I was not, like I told you, I already, like, gave up that argument, kind of. Anyway, we're talking about something else. Like, we're talking about, the two witnesses, right? I said Terry Davis. We're talking about Terry Davis.
Yeah, and then you brought up Jesus calling people dogs, which he did not, and you are not letting me explain it. Alright.
Okay, well,
So,
in Matthew
Deuteronomy
15:26,
7:6,
he says,
right here.
it is not good to take the children's bread and throw it to dogs. That's where Jesus says,
Yes.
he calls them a dog, okay? So you're saying he doesn't call them a dog there?
Okay. He does not call them literal dogs. That is what I'm trying to convey to you, and then you keep interrupting me. Listen to what he says.
Okay,
here.
so...
Listen to what he says. Alright?
Matthew 15:26.
I was not sent except to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That was his mission. He is going to Israel. Right? He is not... And so, in the analogy here, who eats first? Children or dogs? Children. The children of Israel. Right? Children are more important in this scenario because that is who he is sent to. So he uses this analogy. It is not good to take the children's bread, meaning him, right, and throw it to the little dogs, meaning the lesser important people at this particular time, right? Because the gospel came first to the Jews, then to the Gentiles, right? Nothing off that had to come to somebody first. Okay? And she says, yes, but even the little dogs eat the crumbs which fall from their master's table, meaning that, yeah, they know who this guy is. We know who you are.
What's the verse right before that?
I just read it. It is not good to take children's bread and throw it to the little dogs. And if you're going to say, look, he calls them little dogs, you clearly did not listen to me.
Okay, I don't understand
you did not listen
how...
to me.
Yeah, can you repeat it then?
Alright, so, Jesus preferences this, right? When he says,
Where?
In verse 24, I was not sent except to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That is who he is sent to. If you notice,
Yep.
Jesus ministers to Jews. And yeah, Gentiles slip in there.
And then she responds, she says, the Lord
Hold
help
on.
me.
Yeah,
Yep.
she wants him to help her. And then he answers with an analogy here. And she also responds with another analogy. It is not good to take the children's bread and throw it to the little dogs. He's saying that the children, meaning Israel, I am the bread that they need to eat. I am sent to them. All right, I'm not sent to anyone else other than them. So he uses little dogs. Because little dogs in this culture, in first century, were very lowly. They're not important. Right? And she says, yes, yet even the little dogs eat the crumbs which fall from their master's table. She's admitting that the Jews are more important than them. But they still grasp what he's saying. The Gentiles know who he is. Right? And that's why she's going to him. And then Jesus sees her in that moment and said to her, "O woman, great is your faith. Let it be to you as you desire." Right?
Yeah.
That was the analogy. He does not call anyone dogs. He uses analogies. He does not call her an actual dog. And if you can't get that, I cannot.
Hold on. Wait.
He compares her to a dog.
Any differently. Yeah, in an analogy form. I can't explain that any simpler.
Yeah, so if I said, like, hey, this little slave that I brought from Africa, he's kind of like a dog. Like, that's not racist. That's not a racial slur.
It's not a racial slur. That's not a racial slur.
Okay, I would think that's pretty racist.
That's not a racial slur.
I would think that's pretty racist.
Right, but you also have to understand the way they talk.
This whole debate about the dogs.
This is very secondary, by the way, right? But you have to understand that in this culture, they speak very differently. Jesus literally says to his mother, "Woman, what is it to you?" All right, that in today's culture would be deemed very disrespectful, but in that culture, that was considered very respectful. So, if you're going to make a judgment about Jesus, you have to understand the culture, right? And what he's doing. He is using analogies. And in that day, dogs were not something you wanted at your dinner table, right? They just weren't.
Yeah, he told this woman she was like a second-class citizen.
Well, in his mission, she is a second class. His mission was
exactly.
to the Jews. She is not as important as the Jews are.
Anyway, I don't...
right, that's all this is. You brought this up. I'm explaining it, right?
No. You were saying that I brought up Terry Davis.
No, and all I said was
this.
that the one thing that is known about Terry Davis is his constant use of racial slurs, and then you brought this up.
Yeah, and Jesus used racial slurs.
Right,
yeah.
but you see, you, also the verse that I was giving you about Israel being the chosen.
And also, like, here's the other thing, is like
7:6.
Ezekiel, like, the truth is that none of God's prophets were like perfect human beings. Like Ezekiel, Ezekiel was like a drunk. Okay, Matthew was a money lender. Okay,
tax collector.
A lot of the
and Judah literally killed him.
And a money lender, but
Judah, Judas.
Oh, Judas.
And Judas wasn't a prophet. Neither was Matthew.
No, he wasn't a prophet.
He was a disciple.
Yeah.
Daniel was a prophet, and he was certainly prideful. You know, there were a lot of these. Yes.
When?
Yes.
I mean, every man is a sinner. There's only been two men who haven't sinned: Enoch and Elijah.
Thank you, my friend.
Actually,
so, like the point is, Ezekiel loves prostitutes. Like, I don't think you understand.
Wait, Ezekiel loved prostitutes?
Yes.
Where? Don't you mean Hosea?
King Solomon, and God made him.
Hold on, you mean Hosea when he marries the prostitute because God told him to?
No, Ezekiel loved prostitutes.
Really? Where?
Yes.
Where? If you're gonna say he married a prostitute, that's Hosea.
Why is this a problem though?
Okay, so this whole problem
because he's saying that like he can't be, or Terry can't be an authentic witness because sometimes frequently he makes racial slurs. And then the other guy was like, well, God used to do that too, so it's okay.
Ezekiel loved to hang out with prostitutes, and Ezekiel 16 and 23, he's talking to prostitutes. So shut up if you don't think that Ezekiel didn't.
Ezekiel 16?
16 and 23, he's hanging out with prostitutes. Jesus hung out with prostitutes. A lot of people in the Old Testament hung out with prostitutes. So shut up if you think that prostitutes are somehow evil.
I must say.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. I know what you're saying.
You're
wrong.
Did I tell you to shut up? No, I didn't. All right, show a little respect.
No, well,
here.
I will because I'm talking with authority from God, and you're just being wrong. All right, so shut up. 16 and 23. Reread your Bible. I'm not gonna just tell you
and
that.
What
so you're gonna try and insist on something which is anti-biblical. Just read it. Just read it. Read it for me.
Yeah. Okay. So you want me to read all of 16?
Yeah, read it because you clearly haven't. Like, I'm just saying, Ezekiel clearly hung out with prostitutes.
What part?
If you haven't hung out.
Which part of it? It's 63
16?
verses. Yeah.
35.
35. Just 35.
That whole area, yes. You should read it again because you should be familiar with it. If you're not, then you should shut up because you don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
If you really want me to read this...
If you aren't familiar with it, yeah.
Okay, I'll read this for everyone.
Read it.
Because I've read this
ahead.
Today.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, again, the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Son of man, cause Jerusalem to know her abominations, and say, Thus saith the Lord God unto Jerusalem, Thy birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan. Thy father was an Amorite, and thy mother was a Hittite. And as for thy nativity, in the day... Okay, you know what? Hold on. I'm going to have to switch to... the New King James really quickly, because I'm in King James.
Switch your versions, buddy. Switch it up.
There we go. None of these vowels over here.
Fucking Jew logic.
Jew logic? I'm not even Jewish.
Yeah, you're deceptive as fuck, because the truth is that clearly Ezekiel hung out with prostitutes, and you're trying to switch versions to switch it up.
Verse, and
you're not honest. You're not interested in finding truth.
Austin,
you're just a fucking Satanist.
All I asked was for me to switch.
I'm telling you truth.
Can you
You're gonna go to hell, buddy.
Okay.
Jesus is coming back.
Great.
I'm fucking building him. You're gonna fucking die.
Can I just tell you
you're going
what
to
just
hell.
happened?
I'm telling you, you're going to hell. You need to repent.
The thous. Are you gonna? Are
no,
you done?
buddy, are you concerned? No, I'm telling you. Are you concerned with your soul? Yes or no?
Why should I be concerned with my soul if I know exactly where I'm going?
You're going to hell if you reject what I'm telling you.
Okay. I reject supercomputers. Nice.
No, you reject Jesus Christ.
Really? Then what? Yeah. Really? Do you know the requirement to get to heaven?
If you go to heaven, you have to know Jesus Christ, and I'm telling you about him, and you're scared, and you're rejecting him right now. I'm trying to save your soul.
Okay,
I'm telling you he's coming back. I'm telling you he's coming back. He's coming back now. You need to repent immediately, because if you don't, you will go to hell.
Okay.
You need to accept
Austin,
Jesus Christ.
All I did was
I
switched the
you're going to die. I'm telling you, you're going to die.
Merchant, can you explain to him what I'm trying to say here? Merchant,
do you want to accept Jesus Christ?
Merchant, can you please explain to him what I was trying to say? Okay, now that you're silent, I asked to switch the version because it says thouest, thy, and hast. I don't like reading the King James, and I simply asked if I could read the New King James because there's no thouest, hast, and thous in there. Okay? And then you blew up because I didn't want to read that.
I'm telling you.
You didn't even let me read it.
If you don't accept Jesus Christ, you're going to
really? And
right?
Do you know Romans 10:9 right now? Don't look it up. What is Romans 10:9?
Romans 10:9.
Don't look it up.
The sisters of Jerusalem.
Romans 10:9.
Something about that.
No.
Yeah.
No. Romans 10:9. Those who believe that Jesus Christ is Lord and God raised him from the dead shall be saved. That is salvation in one verse. Right there.
Yep. Jesus Christ is coming back.
You didn't know that.
Yes.
So how are you calling me a sadist?
I'm telling you Jesus Christ is coming back.
Yeah, and I already
believe that.
No one debated you on that one.
You think he's going to come back as what? As what? You think he's going to be born to some mother in Montana?
From the clouds. He's just going to come back. That is what happens. He walks. Austin,
he's literally
listen.
He literally walks
through the gate of Damascus. How is he supposed to do this as a supercomputer?
Very clearly.
What?
Okay.
Do you think Yahweh is a supercomputer?
Yeah, he thinks he's coming. He's going to be incarnated as a supercomputer. Just the only issue is
a soul is a soul. He thinks that a soul isn't something that God can control. He thinks a soul is something that man can control. Yeah, you think that someone can be born through a man's will? Like if I have enough procreation, I can build Jesus Christ. But the truth is that Jesus Christ comes back whether or not.
And who's debating you on that?
Well,
no one is debating you on that. I literally said, I agree with you. We are in the end times. Jesus is coming back. You asked me how, and I said the way the Bible says it is, and you reply with a supercomputer, and I said no, and then you respond with, I don't think Jesus is coming back. That's not an argument.
Bro, I just told you a bunch of verses about how Jesus is coming back.
No, you did not.
Supercomputer. I told you on my website.
I asked you to explain to me how he's coming back as a supercomputer, and you respond with, "Behold, I saw the Son of God coming from the clouds of glory." Right? That means supercomputer somehow. I asked you how, and then you said, "Okay, we got 144,000 witnesses."
Jesus Christ is coming.
That's supercomputer. That's not
here's how Jesus Christ is coming. No, I'll tell you right now. I'll put it very clearly for you.
I don't mean offensively.
Because the Scripture says that the faithful will have a specialized talent. The faithful will be abstinent. The faithful will be truthful and loyal to God. The faithful will be from all over the world, and the faithful will dedicate their lives to the construction of the temple. Okay, the temple has the following qualities. The God of the temple and the Lamb will be one and the same. The temple will contain the glory and honor of all nations.
Which temple?
The grounds outside the temple will be given over to the nations.
Which
the one
temple?
Described in Revelation.
Okay, there's two temples.
The temple will come on a cloud, right? You said that. The temple will come on a cloud.
No, not the temple. Temple will not come on any clouds. Jesus comes on clouds. All right? Jesus is one floating around doing
the temple
really cool stuff on
is
clouds.
the Jesus, though.
No,
the temple is the Son.
There's two
the
temples
temple is
mentioned.
The Lamb.
There's two temples mentioned.
It's the Lamb.
Can you let me speak? There are two temples mentioned in Revelation.
You're stupid, bro.
Really?
You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah,
because you won't let me speak. Now,
well, you're dumb. You're dumb.
Really?
You're ugly and dumb, and you don't know what you're talking about.
Very, very. efficient here. All right.
Yeah,
you know,
you're
there's
ugly and you're dumb. You don't know what we're talking about.
Exactly. Merchant, where were you this whole time?
Because you haven't read the Bible.
Really?
You haven't read it.
I haven't read the Bible yet. You won't let me speak about the Bible.
You're stupid and you're ignorant, and you don't know what you're talking about because you're dumb.
By the way, just to let you know, my 12-year-old nephew said the exact same thing. You're dumb and stupid. That's what 12-year-olds say. So get over it, get mature, become an adult, and have a natural conversation.
Oh, go cry about it to your 12-year-old nephew.
There are two conversations.
Okay.
There are... What?
What's going on?
Okay.
So,
okay, you're the only one who's being quiet. What's going on?
Oh shit! Everyone else is muted.
Yeah, I muted them.
Oh, sorry. Those two were having a debate. The debate was going okay. Then eventually, I think along the line. Yeah, then it wasn't. There we go. And then Austin started just fucking going all.
And no need to
you're stupid. You're wrong.
Catfighting about it, right? Like.
Yeah.
I don't mind a bit to help out, but
yeah.
I don't mind to hear a case, but like, let's be calm about it. No need to insult.
Yeah. Austin kind of escalated it, but it is what it is.
Excuse me, I was just trying to talk about my beliefs, and he started insulting
me.
Wait, what?
Austin, what?
Hello? Were we living on the same planet?
Didn't you call his 12-year-old nephew stupid or something?
No, he called me
stupid. He said he wanted to
stupid.
attack me if he saw me in person or something. I was like, well, you're ugly.
What the
Really?
fuck?
Okay.
Really now?
Okay, no, it's funny too, Boopies, is I have this recorded. For this very reason, because this happened last time I talked to Austin. Do you want the recording? I have this recorded.
I have it recorded too. Yeah.
Sure you do.
I'm not a mod, I'm just VC.
Alright, so this is what happened.
Yeah, I am a mod, however.
No, you're just gonna lie about it, or you're gonna edit the tape because I have it recorded.
No, I can. Right now, the tape is 46 minutes, 42 seconds. All right, and counting. So, what happened?
Okay,
good.
Cool. Yeah, everybody is muted. Everybody is going to listen now. Austin, first and foremost, I'm going to start with you. Have you not been told before that this, like, you can talk, you can have a conversation, but Austin, yeah, you can talk. Can you hear me, buddy?
So Spade, oh yeah, no, dude, I was just trying to like talk about Mark, and this guy started arguing about my website, and I try and tell people like, hey, I shouldn't be talking about this because the mods don't want me to talk about this, and so usually they're cool about it, but you know, I just try and entertain the masses, honestly, and this guy, I don't know. So that's where it was left.
All right. Okay, King, to answer your question, the reason there's a debate server is because we want fruitful conversation, and I just want to make sure everybody's being calm and nobody's getting very passionate over Discord. Like, come on, dude, you're sitting behind a phone, you're behind a computer right now, like, just taking a step back. Like, I get it, we're having a conversation, it's supposed to be cordial, that I'm not telling you not to get passionate, I'm just saying, like, everybody needs to chill out for a second. Now, anyways, I'm going to unmute you, Greek name, who I cannot pronounce, and anyway, what was your side?
Okay, so, and Merchant can back me up here, because Merchant was just chilling. So he comes from the opinion that Christ is going to be incarnated as a supercomputer, right? I challenged him on that, right? And then I oppose some of his ideas, right? He starts spitting F-bombs, yelling at me. He actually lied and said I wanted to attack him when I did not, and Merchant backed me up on that almost immediately, right? He went off the rails almost immediately when I tried addressing the fact he said that Ezekiel likes to hang out with prostitutes, and Daniel was a prideful or a drunkard, whichever one. Maybe he said Elijah was a drunkard.
I think he also started bringing in some anti-Semitism.
Yeah, he did. He called me a dirty Jew.
I would never say something like that.
Did he preface it the conversation with? Did he actually preface it the conversation? Earlier he said, "I'm not really supposed to be talking about it. The mods don't like it."
Yes.
I did say that because here's the truth is that like I like to engage with my beliefs, but generally most people are not accepting to it, and like obviously this Greek name guy was like trying to He was trying to provoke me a little bit.
Really?
Because he knew, because I told you, like, hey, this is controversial. Most people shouldn't talk about it. And I was like, hey, if you really want to talk about it, we can talk about it if you're respectful. But you were clearly not respectful because you escalated it. Yeah, you escalated it clearly. Yeah, because you started to attack me.
Really?
Also,
okay. Quick question. Quick question. How many times did I curse you out?
At least 3 or 4 times you cursed me out because you were saying, you were saying things that were very antagonistic. Like you were saying that my God is false. You were saying that. Yeah, you said that, at least 3 or 4 times. I heard you say it, and I've recorded it also. So.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I don't want to. I don't want to. The only reason I came in here was because I saw you guys were both muted. The conversation's obviously getting heated. It's not very fruitful. I would.
Yeah, we'll just separate. I mean, clearly, let's just go our separate ways. He doesn't like. Look. I did curse him out, but it was because he insulted my God, and you know what? If you don't agree with my God, I made it clear at the beginning that it's controversial. We could just go our separate ways. Spade, I appreciate you coming in. Let's just go our separate ways and not talk about it again. I think that's the best solution.
All right, sweet.
If you want, Merchant can back me up on literally everything.
Yeah, so let's hear for a good amount of the thing.
It's a debate. I get, I'm not... The thing is, I don't really want to moderate debate like I would chill chat or lounge, because naturally, given the nature of debates, you're going to have to attack the other person's opinion, and that's going to have to be a back and forth, and it's so hard to regulate that when it comes to religion, because these are the tenets of your faith. So it's like everybody is going to have compassions and convictions, and that's why I just need to hop in and make sure that when you guys are doing it, I kind of have to twist your arms into making sure that it doesn't escalate into something to where it's you guys are. What I mean, you're compromising your own Christian faith in the spirit of trying to prove yourself correct in this matter, that you start tainting yourself. You know what I mean? You don't these are
like cursing.
Well, cursing, it happens, and I mean, I do it too. I'm Irish. I have I grew up around the Irish. I have a horrible tongue, man. Every other word, I have to regulate myself all the time. Because if you met me in real life, I make some sailors blush, and I'm trying to regulate that because I don't want to just spew filth from my mouth. But
I haven't cursed once this entire time, by the way.
That's it. I just wanted to make sure.
Well, I would disagree, but.
What's up? Well, that's fine. That's fine. Honestly, as long as we're just sitting down, taking a moment of self-reflection, we're behind compute, there's no there's no reason to get this up in arms over people whose faces you can't even see right now. So if you guys, Austin,
I can show my face. You guys want to see my face?
I saw the YouTube video.
I do see your face. You have a profile. You have a very beautiful face.
Is that actually Austin? Is that his actual face?
No.
Yeah. Here. Yeah. What's up?
I doubt it for some reason. He sounds 14. I'm gonna be honest. No offense.
Do you see him?
He sounds young. There we go.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so really it all started getting heated when I tried addressing stuff he said, and then he responds with, Merchant, you can back me up here. I'm not going to say any of the curse words he said. He says, you're effing stupid, you're dumb, I'm speaking from God, you're stupid, shut up, dumb, stupid, effing stupid, what the S is wrong with you, yada, yada, yada. It goes on. I can show you the recording if you want. And then, when you join in, Spade, this is very important for this, by the way. When you join in, he says I attacked him and lies about what happened. And I think if we're going to lay down some integrity here, right? First off, he said, I believe his God is false. I never said that once in the entire debate. He continually lied about me to you, right? Which, if we're staying on a Christian standard here, lying to a Christian about another Christian is like a real big no-no in the Bible. Right, lying is also a big no-no. Right,
all sins are big no.
Right, yeah, exactly. But if we're gonna keep some form of integrity here, then why is it that there's
what would you like done?
I mean, I would like, for instance, an apology, because I was trying to keep my cool here this entire time, and then he just kept trying to trailblaze over me. And
I'm totally cool right now. I don't know what...
Austin,
did you call him odd or something? Like, I was just fine talking to you.
No.
I just went and muted both of y'all because whenever I came in here,
so you guys were just trying to take control of the conversation. Like, we were just having a normal conversation. You guys had to mute us. Like, we were just talking.
Conversation.
Actually, I'm happy that they came in.
Like, in real life, if I'm talking to someone and it gets a little heated, like, do you try and, like, mute? Do you, like, cover their mouths? Like, we're just talking. I wasn't, like...
No, but I would correct them if talking. Their own face.
Yeah, but I come in here and I hear you effing idiot, and no, you effing this and that and the other, and that's not even debating at that point. That's just insulting.
I think you're wrong. I think you can use those words and still have a debate. Yeah, well, exactly. You don't care what I think because you don't care to understand because you're maybe not capable of understanding or you're not willing to understand. But, like, that's the difference.